In order to get into the fantasy, you have to project all your power away. In order to get into and make a vicarious pretense projected experience viable, you got to project all your power away into the hero figure. You got to have already identified your fears, your hesitations, lacks and limitations in scarcity of your creation. You did a good job. You developed a good portrait of scarcity. Now you need social needs met. Now you've done a good sales job on yourself, and you've convinced yourself you don't have the right stuff. You looked at your height. You're vertically challenged severely. You looked at your continence, your face structure. You cammed it. You got a lot of feedback out there in the environment that discouraged you, that made you hesitate, and made you run a campaign of being inferior, conditioning yourself, telling yourself, predicated on real evidence that you are inferior. You never learned rhetorical skills, the art of the rhetoric, the art of being persuasive, because you couldn't be persuasive. Your body was tight. You didn't have fluid movement. You didn't understand the art of frivolous conversation, how to keep it going. You didn't understand the art of saying nothing but saying it in an entertaining, interesting, compelling way. You didn't learn how to fight. You didn't learn the lesson that you have to be. It takes functional strength, balance, coordination, brute strength to be able to do the things that your mind tells you, your consciousness tells you to do, predicated on your situation and what you want for yourself out of the situation. That even if you were admonished, given reminders and warnings, and you were consequented, and you attempted to do it, you were given a motivation pep speech to do it. You went to all the Tony Robbins rallies and try to pick up the strategies and the energy from the group herd mentality led by a charismatic figure who, through the force of personality and showmanship, has convinced you he's got a breakthrough in 15 minutes. But when you tried to apply those strategies, it sounded good in the arena with 5,000 cheering and encouraging the breakthrough, the Tony Robbins breakthrough very specifically. When you left that arena, it might have stayed with you a week or two, but you understood sooner or later when you came up against enough powerful resistance from your environment in the arena, in the true arena of confrontation and encounter, where nobody's going to be on your side, where you're not going to find any cheerleaders. It's each man on his own for himself. Each has their own, none has the time. It's a pay-as-you-go world. When you found that out, that surface encouragement, that surface confidence evaporated in no nice way. And your body didn't have the strength, didn't have the functional strength to sustain it. It's very difficult to come to grips with these things. It's very difficult to look yourself right in the mirror and be very forthright, very practical about what you see there. Advice has to be field tested and very practical or it's worthless. It's all a performance. Don't tell me, show me. Don't say it. What is your behavior? The patterns saying. That's the true story. What's your track record been? That's the true story. If you don't do that, then you're going to have to get needs met, vicarious pretense. And it's important to understand the art of vicarious pretense relief. But you can't be stupid with it. This is vicarious pretense relief that I'm talking about. It's the relief of a coward. A man who has no courage, no capacity to roll the dice. One roll, one chance. No capacity to formulate things, to reframe it and formulate in such a way that it's testable. That you can test it. That you have the will and the skill to test it. And the courage that comes from being in tremendous physical shape for you. You can't let you're severely vertically challenged like me. I am an extremely stiff individual. You could see the neck is stiff, the shoulders are stiff. My face is very large, moon face, big gross features, and you can see very stiff and immobile. You got to swing with the honesty of that. It's all in the questioning. It's all in the self-interrogation. But you have to know how to be an advocate for yourself, a very effective advocate for yourself. How to present your case with persuasion. A man like me has no ability to attract or hold quality attention. I have to master the art of knowing how to disappear. I have to master the art of knowing how to be creatively inconspicuous and then return with different tactics, different strategies to cope. I have to be very flexible and malleable in my behavioral choices. The worst thing a man like me can do is become rigid. There has to be no entitlements, no good outcome, bad outcome, and different outcome. That's the big picture that will take care of itself. You're not even concerned about that outcome. You are concerned about taking care of the details in the now. And that's all. Work on your 50% and that's all. Become perfect in your 50%. Don't worry about the others 50%. You have to have the will that's well tutored, well trained, an intuitive feel for what you're doing, and the courage to act in the moment when it counts. Tomorrow's too late. And you have to understand what Doc Thompson of Verbal Judo says. Natural no good! Natural no good! You have to learn to say and do and perform what's unnatural. The image you have to present, the compensations, the necessary phoniness or show, it's showtime out there, the necessary deceptions, fake it till you make it. You have to sell it, sell, sell, sell. Advertise, 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 market. Only in this case it's yourself. And you have to understand you can't market it properly if you don't understand what you're selling. And you have to know when to cry uncle. If you're outclassed, get out and come back later. You have to know how to not be discourageable. You have to work, squeeze all the sponge of fear dry. You have to develop a ruthless objectivity that's so strong it becomes an instinct, a survival instinct. Now that's not natural. It has to be trained into you. You have to train it into yourself. This is what I'm talking about. That instinct to critically think and then act and then be able to effectively edit, reduce, and act. But then you have to figure out a way along with that action how you can test out the results. And you have to figure out how you can ask yourself the right questions. Do the right look back. Reframe, transmute, sublimate. Then you have to know how to live your life creatively, vicarious pretense. You have to know how to project away your power in such a way. It's a trade-off. There's certain things you're going to have to say, I could never have that. The age, the infirmities, the physical conditioning, the experience says no. When he looks it up and considers things piece by piece, the evidence demonstrates no. If you want to change that, it takes courage, acting ability, and you gotta sell it. First you sell it to yourself, then you have to take and sell it out there in the environment, in the arena of encounter and confrontation and powerful resistance. It's what we call in the Bronx, hoist your strategies up on a flagpole, see who'll salute it. Write your plans down clearly, every aspect of it, put it on the mat and see if the cat will lick it up. Then finally you're going to have to go out into that environment. And my recommendation is go out and take a real test. And go into the environment which really exposes you and crushes your feathers, your plumage. The plumage needs to be crushed and destroyed. So the real man, the real phoenix, can rise up from the funeral of its, from the fire of its funeral. Spread those midnight wings over the empty desert, searching for tomorrow. Searching for tomorrow. In the beginning, there was absurd, a trip through the tulips, a boat ride through the funnel of majestic man, alive and living in Pasadena, freak out in the sideshow, and in the end, there's the phoenix rising from the fire of his funeral, spreading midnight wings over the empty desert, searching for tomorrow, searching for tomorrow. Windows looking down, watching me pass by, glassy windowed eyes. Windows never cry. I passed that street before. There's that candy store where many a penny bought me a dream. Now I see with strangers' eyes the games the children play now. Am I smaller? And are they taller? Where's the one who was me? Where did the day go? Where did the day go? Hey, Mr. Time, got any more tricks up your sleeve? The world's getting younger, and I'm getting older each day. And the circle you drew in the sand, it's just the end of the beginning, end of the beginning, beginning of the end. I see with strangers' eyes the games the children play. Are they taller? Am I smaller? Where's the one who was me? Where did the day go? How old am I today?